guest of honour is one of the country's best-known performers, having first started at age 11. It's a name synonymous with show business and has been around for 40 years. In fact, right now, our subject is in another television studio across town, taping a daily national program. And that's where we'll do our surprise, on air.
And in this buyer's world, a very special surprise. It's wonderful to see you.
I love being here.
What are you wearing on your left
Oh,
shoulder,
darling, it's just the blackbird that flew in, or an old crow like myself.
Looks lovely. Looks absolutely beautiful. So the reason you're always a very welcome guest on Good Morning Australia, but why are you here this morning particularly?
Well, I am so excited, Bert, because we're launching a new glad bag competition. And they can be as wild and wacky or as chic and sort of unassuming as they'd like.
So what's Michaela wearing? And also, I think Jesse's
Well, I've got two fabulous models here. Michaela's wearing black Renew glad bags, and she's also got an antenna on her head so that she can still listen to the Bert Newton show wherever she is.
Love it. And what about Jesse? What's he wearing?
Jesse's wearing a fabulous cod piece.
Oh, look at that.
Actually, I think he's going to get a lot of work after this show.
Yeah. What sort of work do you think he'll get once?
Lots of varied things, I think. Solar wings, darling, so that he can fly out of the grandstand and all that sort of thing.
I think you're gone, Jeannie, and I had nothing
Bert
to
Newton,
do with it.
this is your life.
Me?
You thought you were going on a plane to Melbourne straight after the show.
Oh, there you go. Oh, what
You've
bad luck.
had, you've packed two
I'm having a
lives.
bad hair day, too.
You've packed two lives into your life.
Yeah, oh, well, it's great. Jeannie, you knew all about this.
Oh, darling, I hated not being able to tell a soul.
And I bet you thought you were safe at Channel 10 too.
Well, I thought I was totally unsafe for that advertorial. I've never done a worse advertorial in my life. I thought, what the hell is she talking about? Well, there you go. You old devil. You old devil. Oh, my
Gorgeous, darling. About time, too.
Oh, book me into St Vincent's right after the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bert Newton. Standing ovation already.
Isn't that wonderful?
Well, I've heard about it, but I've never seen one before. A standing ovation of one.
At the beginning of the show.
Yes, that's just terrific. You got me. You got me.
You looked a bit surprised.
Well, I was surprised because I had no idea for a start that you're going to walk in, and that I thought, having been done on This Is Your Life before, if you'll pardon the expression, I thought, well, it must be Jeannie's turn because it was a late booking, that advertorial. And all of a sudden, when your steely blue eyes gazed into mine, I thought, hello, it's me.
The first This Is Your Life was almost 20 years ago, and you've really lived another life since then.
What are you hoping? My life's improved in the last 20 years.
Bert, please take a seat.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Albert Watson Newton.
That's not a shocking name.
You were born on the 23rd of July 1938 in North Fitzroy, Melbourne. You're the baby of 6 children to Joseph and Gladys. But sadly, your father passes away when you're only 11 years old. So your older brothers take on the role as father figures. And tonight, it's Jack who sends you this message.
Hi Bertram, I'm sorry our brothers Tom and Bob can't be with me tonight, but I'm sure they'll endorse everything I want to say. We've been very, very proud of you in your career through radio and TV, and particularly proud of that strong survival streak you've shown all the time. And we're very proud to have you as a brother. It'd be a miss of meat not to mention your #1 supporters, our late mother and sister. I'm sure they're endorsing everything I've said. Congratulations, mate. I hope you have a wonderful night tonight.
Thank you, Jack.
But after your father's death, your mother encourages you to join the Boy Scouts. And it's through the Scouts you get your first taste of show business. The troop is invited to radio station 3XY for the recording of Scouting Around. And it's here the performing bug bites you. At only 11, you convince the radio executives to take you on as a regular on the afternoon kiddies show, Peter's Pals.
He was so involved with radio his lessons didn't seem to matter.
It's your old school teacher from St Joseph, Brother Austin.
I can't tell you how much I love this man. He's a Marist brother, a member of that wonderful order, and he was my second principal, but one of my first teachers, and we've been friends since those school days, and you were just such a terrific help to me back in those years, and I've never forgotten you. Never.
And Brother Bert was radio mad, was he?
Well,
Don't say just mad,
he
would you?
was very committed and very interested in radio. At times he'd bring along scripts for me to go over with him, and we would discuss it, and then at the end of it, with a lovely smile, can I go early from school this afternoon to go into the radio station and do some rehearsing?
That's right. That's right.
It's a bit cheeky.
Well, he usually said yes. I think he was quite happy to see me go down the road and leave the school.
I was pleased to see people becoming involved in this sort of thing. It was great.
Brother, thank you very much for joining us. Much appreciated. Thank you, brother. Great to see you. Thanks, brother. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Bert, your love of radio is so strong, you leave school at just 15 to become a junior announcer. Now, the sales manager is a gruff and overpowering man who absolutely terrifies you. In fact, he goes on to terrify a whole generation of criminals in the TV cop show Homicide. And tonight, that same sales manager sends you this message.
Bert, I've known you for over 50 years. It's a long time, isn't it? My first recollection of you was when you were in short pants, and every late afternoon you turned up at 3XY to take part in the children's program. From that you became a junior announcer or turntable operator at 3XY, and when television came along you couldn't get into it quick enough. And of course, you were right, it suited you and your style. I was considered a very good ad-lib man in my day, but Bert, you've left me for dead. Give my regards to your darling wife, Patty, and have a great night.
Thank you, Alvin.
Television is looming, and producers are looking for a whole new breed of stars. So it's no real surprise when you end up hosting The Late Show on Channel 7. Then Channel 9 entices you to leave. And you choose a rather unique way of resigning from Channel 7, don't you?
Yes, I don't think anyone's done it since. They haven't had the chance, perhaps, but I actually resigned on air.
Live on air.
Live on air, and then was amazed next day when they'd accepted. I thought they were going to talk me out of it, but they didn't. They talked me right into it.
Well, I guess they had to.
Well, they had to, I suppose. I mean, I'd never do it again. I don't think.
Well, Channel 9 books you to do a 30-second commercial with the young king of television, Graham Kennedy, on his top-rating show in Melbourne tonight. The pair of you turn that 30 seconds into 12 minutes of magic, and your future is set. Graham and Bert become one of the legendary partnerships in Australian television history.
Can I do that? Yeah. This is got to do it properly. I'll do it properly and very dramatic and no smile on the face. No smile on the face. Okay. I'll hold the shoe. You hold the shoe. Ladies and gentlemen, this shoe has been organised and it is inspired by the...
Now, there's another of the In Melbourne Tonight team, and she's a pretty blonde you first met when you were kids together on Peter's Pals. She's Paddy McGrath, and destiny will ensure you both become another great partnership. And after the break, Bert's only in his 20s when his whole career is suddenly put on hold. But first, some messages.
Hello, my darling Bert. Congratulations on this wonderful show tonight, honoring you. You truly deserve it. You know, I first met Bert Newton actually 20 years ago, exactly 20 years ago. I came to Australia with Mr. Bob Hope, and I stayed to do the Logies, and Bert was the compere. And I compared him to Mr. Bob Hope, but I left out a couple of the more positive adjectives.
Hi, Bert.
How do you feel?
I'm kind of nervous, but you mentioned my buddy Bob Hope, and before I came here, I asked about you, and they told me that Bert Newton had all the charm and the talent of a Bob Hope. And now that I've seen you tonight, you are very charming.
And of course, it got a huge laugh. And I fell in love with Bert Newton then because he laughed the hardest of all. Well, Bert, you know, these days, once in a while I work with Bob Hope, and you still remind me of him. I really aspire to be like you, because like Bob Hope, you're smart, you're funny, you're sexy, you're rich, and you're alive. My God, Bert, how old are you? God bless you, Bert. I look forward to seeing you soon in person.
Congratulations, Bert! Hey, Bert, we're real sorry. We tried to get down there, but we're being held captive by our schedules here in the States. Sorry.
But you remember, Bert, when you came on stage with us, joined us as our leather man? Yeah, we remember it too. We've been trying to forget it for 20 years.
Even though we enjoyed being there, Bert, we're sorry we couldn't make it.
And remember, last but not least,
This is your life!
Welcome back to the life and times of television guru Bert Newton. Bert, you're 25 in 1964 and flat out. 5 days a week you begin with an early morning radio shift and finish after midnight after The Tonight Show. Then there's your TV specials, commercials, and a very healthy party life. And the pace is just too much. You suddenly resign and disappear...
not on air, by the way.
Not on air. And disappear altogether. Tell us what happened.
Maybe everything caught up with me. I've always liked to work hard, but at that particular stage, as you alluded, I was also playing hard, so perhaps a combination of both those things was too much. So for a couple of years I didn't work, I was played hard. No, I got myself together through the help of a wonderful doctor who's now deceased, Dr. Eric Seal, and things brightened up and I haven't looked back.
Well, you booked yourself into the Sacred Heart Hospital for rehabilitation, and after 4 months you returned to Channel 9. Now, there are a couple of mates who are always right there for you during this tough time, and they join us tonight. Philip Brady, Pete Smith and Bruce Mansfield.
Oh, wonderful.
How do you do?
May I ask Peter one question, Mike?
Please.
I know he'll give me an honest answer. Is the hair looking okay?
Excellent from the back.
Yes.
Excellent.
Now, Philip, you were right by his side during those rough times, weren't you?
Yes, I was there for Bert, but he's always been there for us too, Mike. This man is very resilient, he's very durable, and he always rallies around us when we need him.
Pete, you actually replaced Bert when he had his breakdown, is that right?
Well, I came over from the ABC with high hopes of, I must admit, being the next Bert Newton, but it didn't happen. But what did happen was, well, you know it, buddy, an enduring friendship that's just got greater with the years. We love you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter.
And Bruce, you also remember them.
Well,
in the
if it
old
wasn't
days.
for Bert, I wouldn't be here today. When Bert came back, I was shown the ropes and also shown how to turn the microphone switch on in the booth. And from those days,
It's a lot of help, isn't it?
a very enduring and loving friendship I've enjoyed
Good
with
on you,
you,
Bruce.
Bert.
Likewise, my friend.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Bruce, who's on? Who's on tonight?
Just watch your language too, boys. That's Amaris Brothers sitting beside me.
Bert, you now begin the slow climb back. Your next big break comes when you host your first Logie Award ceremony in 1967. 2 years later, Graham Kennedy quits the network and you become one of several hosts of In Melbourne Tonight.
I'm Wednesday. I'm Thursday. Monday. Tuesday. Can't take that away from us.
And three of the other hosts, Ugly Dave Gray, Barry Crocker and Tony Lamont.
Oh, wonderful. Good to see you, my friend. My girl. How you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Oh, it's wonderful to see the three of you here. Thank you. And you look so young, all three of you.
Well, I'm Jimmy Hannon, and the operation was a success.
Oh, lovely. That's lovely. Yes.
Dave, was there any rivalry between you guys in those days?
No rivalry at all. I have to tell you, Bert is the real, true professional. He really is, and a lot of fun to work with. And one particular thing we did, Mike, we did a event and his dummy double act one night, and we didn't have much time to rehearse. And I was the dummy sitting on Bert's knee, and he'd say something, and I'd say something, and then he'd say something.
Goggle a gear, a 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 goggle a gear.
And all...
Dragon gusher, dragon gusher, dragon gusher.
You died tonight and I died that night too.
So you can't win them all.
Can't win them all.
No.
Just like to win some though.
Bob on.
Barry, there were some competitions, weren't there?
Yeah, well,
This will kill Kamal, by the way.
God bless you, he was in the audience.
Oh, is he really?
Yes,
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Oh, Marla, wonderful, wonderful. I didn't realise. I'm sorry about that. That's okay. Wonderful, wonderful man.
Well, see, Bert
So
and
we're still
I...
ushering here at Channel 9. I love it.
Who was it take? I remember Bert and I go back, we actually celebrated 40 years of working together and friendship, and I was part of that party time in the early days. I had a band on Open House on Channel 9, Bert was doing IMT, and we thought we were pretty good party guys, and we had a little competition once. We went for 3 days and 3 nights, working and without sleep.
That's right.
Who won?
I don't know, I fainted. I don't remember.
Well, as we know now, I was in hospital, so I mean,
And Tony, what memories do you have of
Well,
this
I
man?
have a very particular memory in that in the same week, Bert and I got our own IMTs, and I got the Monday night, and Bert got the Thursday night. And thereupon, a schizophrenic thing happened, because I'd be Princess of Monday, he'd be Prince of Thursday. Then we'd go back and work with the King all the rest of the
that's
week
right.
doing our little
Let's not talk
bits.
about Friday, eh?
But whether he learned his lines or ad-libbed, he honed his talent to become the consummate professional that you are and continue to be, and I'm
Love you.
delighted to have worked with you.
They're the sort of people, Mike, if I may say, that make show business worthwhile.
Yeah. Straight from the heart.
Straight from the heart, and good people and fine performers. I mean, great combination.
It's 1974, and that pretty blonde Patty McGrath has now completely captured your heart. The only problem is, you haven't told her that. Now, you hear on the grapevine that she's going out with another man.
Yes, the rot, yes.
And at 36, Bert, it is now or never. So you travel halfway around the world just to propose to Patty. She accepts and joins us now. Now, you had a big crush on Bert, didn't you? For a long while.
I don't think I've ever really been in love with anybody else. I've always loved Bert. We've been together a long, long time. We went together for a long time before we were married, and then I went overseas for 3 years because he wouldn't marry me. And then he married me, and I can't say that I suppose every day I think how lucky I am that I've got him. And I hope I never lose him.
Can you take a seat with Bert, please?
That was lovely.
Well, Bert, you're
Yes,
37.
Just as I wrote it, by the way.
Oh, was it just as you wrote it? Well, Bert, you're 37 in 1975 when Channel 9 asks you to join another television partnership. The network invites Don Lane to return to Australia to host a new Tonight Show. Now, critics say it's madness to try and recapture the sort of magic that you and Graham Kennedy had. But it works.
I be kangaroo dance. So I tried his kangaroo dance. Sport that kicked me in the bum.
If ever I see any Fisher, I'll kill him.
I tried.
Long before the footy show.
Long before the footy show, and in some areas, quite attractive.
Yes, yeah.
What's happened, I wonder? What's happened?
Well, with Don beside you and your continued success as host of the Logies, your star is again on the rise. But all that is marred when you lose your biggest fan to cancer, your sister Alice. And you were particularly close, the two of you, weren't you?
Yeah, very much so. Alice was the eldest in the family, and I was the youngest. And we always had a wonderful rapport, a deep love, and even though it's quite some years now since she died, 1975, there's not a day goes by without me thinking of her. And the only, Paddy will verify this, the only downtime I have when something really great happens, like tonight, which is just the most outstanding experience for me, is I have that thought, and I've had it already, if only Alice and Mum were here. But that can't be here, that can't happen, but...
they're here in spirit?
Yes, well, I feel they're here in spirit anyway.
Well, you continue to succeed, and in 1978, you're honoured for the first time by This Is Your Life. Now, this now introduces television viewers to your firstborn, Matthew.
Wayne and Matthew.
Well, babysitter Don is still hard at work, and he joins you now with Matthew and your daughter, Lauren.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? You look beautiful. And as for you...
Nothing, right?
The name again, the name? Great to see you, Don.
Give me a kiss.
Okay. Oh, lovely. He was the first man who ever kissed me. Didn't like it then and wasn't too rough with it then.
And not the last either.
Now, Matthew, tell us what he's like as a dad.
He's fantastic. As well as being the top of his profession and an absolute inspiration, he's a great mate. And we're happiest together when we've got our feet up and we're watching Spencer Tracy or listening to Bing Crosby.
Who's the best singer in the world?
Bing Crosby.
Thank you. That was a paid political announcement, by the way.
Now, you're an actor and you're now a model. Did your dad and mum have much influence on you in your careers?
Well, I think most parents sort of try to shelter their children, but Dad always included us in everything he ever did, and he always let us be part of the excitement. I've always been really proud of Dad, and I just hope he has a wonderful night.
Not as much as I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
And Don, just looking back, what was that something special that you two had?
I have no idea. He used to call me on the telephone in the second year of this program, and of the show, and he would say to me, "What is it? What is it that makes it work, you know?" And he would say, "You don't want to know. Don't stand there and analyze it, you know?" But it had all the elements that you need. A tall, suave, very handsome compere and a short, chunky guy. You know, that's it.
Thank you. Thank you. I think the chemistry was the fact that Don Lane, apart from being a fantastic performer, I can tell you honestly, I've not worked with anybody in television more generous than Don. Don works on the old system, which I think is the best, and that is, if you're all there together, it doesn't matter who's getting the laughs, so long as they're there. And he's the ultimate in that.
Great. Thanks, Lauren. Thanks very much.
A pleasure.
Thanks
Nice
for
to
joining.
meet you, Mike.
Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for coming in, Don.
And give my love to him it may concern, whoever.
And after the break, a few more surprises for Bert. But first, some messages from some old friends.
Hello, Bert. You old sausage, you old moon face. How are you? I often remember our happy days on the sofa together. We really kind of hit it off, didn't we, you and I? Well, you hit it off and I just stood and watched. But I'm coming back to Australia soon, and the only reason I'm coming, Bert, is to sit next to you and talk about old times, because I often think of you. In fact, whenever I eat one of these, I'm thinking of you, Bert. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
Bert Newton. What can you say about a man who swims like John Conrad's and sings like John Farnham? Unfortunately, Bert Newton swims like John Farnham and sings like John Conrad. But for anyone of my generation, Bert Newton is the face of Australian television. Wide, slightly bulbous, 3 colours out of register like a salad niçoise, and lots of little buttons along the bottom. Every time I start a book tour in Australia and stumble, bleeding and whimpering out of a press conference of all the same journalists who framed me last time, I get my identity back when I collapse into Bert's studio and am revived by that merry cry of, "Hi, Harry, geez, you look terrible." Where would I be without Bert Newton? Well, right now I'd be in Acapulco, sipping a pina colada with Kylie Minogue, instead of shivering in this woebegone little studio somewhere in the bush of Shepherd's Bowels. But seriously, Bert, what about that $1,000 you still owe me for the last job you did? I looked under the park bench last night, still nothing. Don't make me send the boys around, you know what I mean. I think I was okay. I meant to say Bowels of Shepherd's Bush back there, but Bert will never spot it. Shall we knock off that one about Mel Gibson?
Okay, and action.
Mel Gibson. What can you say about a man who talks like Bert Newton and looks like a marble statue of a Greek god?
Welcome back to the life of showbiz great Bert Newton. In 1981, you're 43 and now king of morning radio in Melbourne. You're also hosting the successful television show New Faces, the Ford Super Quiz with Paddy, and of course appearing twice a week with Don Lane. It's also around this time you find success as an actor in the film Fatty Finn and the series Bluestone Boys.
Perhaps I can help. Mike Balquini, TT, DB&T. This day, the day before, and tomorrow. The top-rating Channel 12 current affair program.
I suppose, Mike, that every program has to have a filler, and that was it. And by the way, it was noted when you said actor, it was Barry Crocker who laughed. Thank you, Barry.
But then in 1983, it all begins to fall apart. The Don Lane Show is given the axe, and at first, you're given the chance to host your own Tonight Show.
I once said, my car is just like my wife. On a cold morning, when you really need it, it won't turn over. You were married, weren't you, Ben? Good night.
Well, just when you start hitting your stride, it too winds up. You're still hosting New Faces, but then New Faces also goes. And to add to all that, your mother Gladys passes away. Pretty rough time then.
Yes, it was. I mean, everything else pales into insignificance. I mean, what's to lose a television show? It's not a particularly nice experience, but it's only a television show. To lose your mother, and everyone can, you know, they know what I'm talking about. When you lose your best friend, it's almost the end of the world, seemingly, but it's not when you...
Paddy was there.
A wife, oh, of course, yeah, she's always there. Always.
And I'm with her always. There's always a bit of glad in me.
Is that right?
Yep.
Bert, you're 50 in 1988, having now won 4 gold Logies and hosted 17 of the ceremonies. And after that difficult year, you returned with a daytime show on Channel 7 and back to hosting the Logies. Let's just revisit some of those golden Logies moments.
I like the boy.
Did you say Roy or boy?
I like the boy. There's nothing wrong with saying that.
Roy.
Yeah. Well, hey, hang on. No. I'll change religion. I'll do anything for you. I don't care. What's wrong with saying that? I like the boy.
Boy, you.
I mean, I like the man. Yes.
You call boy?
Are we facing in the right direction? Whatever you want to do, I don't care. I'm sorry, Muhammad.
God bless you people, really. I'll walk with God. I really didn't know that this was going to happen. And I have an affliction. It's called emotion. And oh shit!
Congratulations, Michael.
He was certainly in an exuberant mood there, Bert.
When he uttered that word on television, there were 400 calls in after the show complaining about the language. Then on the Sunday, back in those days, they used to replay the Logies on Sunday afternoon, and so they edited that little bit out, and they got 3,000 calls from people complaining that it wasn't in. So, how could you win? And Mike McCall-Jones will verify that.
Was he your greatest challenge, do you think?
Not really. I wasn't too sure where he was coming from.
Well, he wanted to make amends, and here he is from Hollywood,
No.
Michael Cole.
Are you sure it's all right to be here?
Oh, shit.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that.
It's great to see you.
I read in the paper the other day that you hung Ned Kelly in 1880. And I've always had the feeling since that Logie Award that you kind of felt that I was with him. I wish that I was with him.
You know something, Michael? It is still the most referred to incident in the Logie, so you're certainly here in Australia, apart from your wonderful performances in America, here in Australia, you're never forgotten.
And will never be forgotten.
Never be forgotten.
Seriously, if I did offend anybody,
no,
I deeply apologize. And thanks for having me back to your beautiful country. Thank you, Michael.
Michael, thank you very much.
And you, I love and I respect.
Thank you, Michael.
It's great to see you. Thanks for coming in. Thanks, Michael. What a surprise. And after the break, Bert hits live theatre. But first, a message from a great mate.
Hello, Bert. This is your old pal, Van Johnson. I wish I could be with you on this glorious occasion, but I'm stuck here in New York, breaking in my new one-man show, which I hope to bring to Australia, just so I can see you and Patty and Matthew and Lauren again, because you are Australia to me.
Full orchestra.
What would you like me to sing?
Not yet, Bert, please. Welcome back to our special tribute to the one and only Bert Newton. Bert, your much-touted Channel 7 comeback is not all you hoped for, and you soon land a job hosting Channel 10's morning show.
Good morning.
But in 1993, you're now struck by a huge blow. You find yourself in serious debt due to the recession and backing the wrong horses in several investments. What happened around that time?
Well, I think to me, what happened was what happened to a lot of people at that time, and I guess through the years too. I've always had a belief that with the exception of people like Mike Walsh, who readily comes to mind, show business people are usually terrific in the emphasis of show and not necessarily in the emphasis of business. And I think that might have happened in my case too, but once again, Patty was right beside me, and the important thing is we're here.
We are,
Still together. Well, true to form, you resolved to clear the slate and do this by diving into a punishing work schedule. 12 and a half hours a week on Good Morning Australia.
Later in the week.
And a couple of regulars from GMA weren't going to miss out on tonight. Colette Mann and Shane Bourne.
This is just so exciting.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Now, Colette, you actually bring new products onto Bert's show, don't you?
Well, that's the theory, yes. Except the products are getting older by the minute because...
We never get to them.
We never get to them because he starts talking about my family, which, of course, nobody's interested in, but I think is fabulous. And so I just chat on, and I just have so much fun that I never get round to the products, do I?
No, never.
Because I think the products are silly anyway, let's be honest.
But as you say, we have a lot of fun, that's the important
We do. We have enormous amounts of fun, and then I stay and gossip
Yes,
after.
indeed. Oh, I've not met your husband, by the way.
Shane,
I'm one of the older products.
you owe Bert a fair bit, don't you? Sorry? You owe Bert a fair bit, don't you?
About $50, but I'm trying to work it off doing for your neighbour here. Now, I would say, actually, I thought about this. I remember seeing Bert. I was only about 9 years of age, and I remember watching Bert
host a kids show, he's very young himself, with some legendary clowns from Melbourne called Zig and Zag. And I think it was very impromptu. I think that's the thing that caught my eye. Bert was chasing them round the studio floor for a good 4 or 5 minutes, attacking them with a straw broom. And I remember thinking at that early age, this is the life for me. But it is an honour, Bert, to work with you on an education, and it's always fun, isn't it, Colin?
It is.
And
Huge
because
amounts
if it's
of fun.
not going well, out comes the broom.
Yeah, exactly. Bless you, Shane.
Shane, thanks very much.
Thank you very
Colin,
much.
as for you.
I didn't tell you.
You didn't tell me. I'm sick of the old one.
Bert, you're 57 in 1995, and as if working mornings on GMA aren't enough, you now throw yourself into the role of Cogsworth the Clock, one of the principals in the musical extravaganza Beauty and the Beast.
And goodbye. Wait. You're a clock, and you're talking.
Astonishing, isn't it? And quite inexplicable. Goodbye.
Cogsworth, I'm surprised at you. Where are your manners?
We've got to get him out of here before the master finds out.
Oh, this is incredible. How is this accomplished?
Really, sir, if you're... Stop that. Stop it. Stop it, I say. Really, sir, do you mind?
The best 2 years of my life.
The best 2 years?
Oh, yes. Entertainment-wise. Just love doing Beauty and the Beast.
Your performance really is outstanding, and you win a Mo Award. And some of the cast members are back tonight just to pay tribute to you, Michael Cormick and Tony Harvey.
Michael, wouldn't you kill for that hair? I'd love to.
It's coming off next week. It's
Is it really?
Now, Michael, you played the Beast in Beauty and the Beast.
I did.
Where did you get your first big break from?
Well, I think it was like 20 years ago. I was a 14-year-old with a face about as round as that, I think. New Faces. It was actually where I started.
Bert.
With Bert. Yeah. So that's why it was such a great honour to work with this man for the last 2.5 years.
One of the best young performers in Australia today, and he's done everything. He's played the West End. He's, apart from Beauty and the Beast, which I think his performance as the Beast is one of the best things I've ever seen on stage. There's nothing this bloke can't do, and I learnt so much from Michael about comedy. His timing and his bravery on stage is just phenomenal.
Isn't it uncanny?
And who's this, by the way?
Tony, you worked with Bert as well.
Indeed. I spent 25 years watching this man and trying to tap into what it was, what the brilliance, the amazing talent of this man was, and to get to stand on stage next to you after all that time and get to sort of throw the ball back and forth. It was like sort of singing My Way to Frank Sinatra. It was extraordinary. I thank you, my friend.
Tony, thank you. Thanks out of you.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks, Michael. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Tony.
Well, don't go away, because after the break, the big surprise for Bert Newton.
I've always been crazy about Wayne Newton. He's just one of my favorite. Bert Newton? Oh, the Australian Bert? Oh, yes. Well, I've always been crazy about Bert Newton. I'm crazy about men in general, you know. You know, we have meant so much to each other. It isn't generally known. The only thing that keeps us apart is 8,000 miles of the Pacific Ocean and his wife. Congratulations, Bert.
Bert's not about fashion or trends. He's watched them all come and go. He's about intellect. He's about a wisdom born of experience. And my life is much richer having him as a mate.
I know a lot of funny people, but Bert is one of the funniest. Oh.
Welcome back to the life and times of Bert Newton. Bert, many of the celebrities you encounter in your career become close personal friends. Well, tonight we have flown one of the closest of your friends out all the way from New York to be with you tonight. It's Hollywood legend, Van Johnson.
Oh, my goodness.
Just how special is this man?
Well, I'm deaf. Bert, remember the first time we met 100 years ago was in the lobby of the Beverly Wilshire Hotel in Beverly Hills. I was making a picture with Hank Fonda and Lucille Ball.
I was making Paddy Finn at the time, back in Australia, yes.
And you came up to me with Paddy and you said, I'm from Australia. I've never met anybody from Australia before. And he sort of said, you have a lot of fans there. And I was very flattered and very touched, and I went off to the studio to kiss Elizabeth Taylor, swim with Esther Williams. And when I got back to the hotel that night, there in my room was a magnum of champagne and a kilo of caviar. And you got any more on you? Anyway, I think of you very often, Bert and Paddy, the kids, because I feel that I'm part of your family. As a matter of fact, I wish you would adopt me.
His question was, what makes me so special?
How do I get out of here?
You've got to get back to the hotel within half an hour.
Oh yeah, because I catch a plane in the morning for Singapore.
In a word, Van, tell us about your married life all those years ago.
You bastard!
Bert, you're now entertaining your third generation of Australians. You've certainly always had your ups and downs, but you've never lost that ability to make us laugh or to laugh at yourself. And your wit and sense of humour is still as sharp today as it was 40 years ago. And of course, there's only one way to finish tonight's show, the last show of the year, and that is with a song. We're not going to ask you to sing, Bert. But we have asked Paddy to sing to you. Your musical director, John, is over there, ready, with all your friends. Would you please join them?
Yes, certainly.
Thanks, John.
Everything I do for Bert.
Everything I do for Bert.
Some folks think that Bert's not much,
but they like his gentle touch.
So everything I do for Bert.
Everything I sing for Bert.
Every bell I ring for the Bert, yes.
And when all's said and done,
For me, Bert, you're the only one.
everything I do for Bert. Everything I do for Bert. Some may think that Bert's not much, but they like his gentle touch. So everything I do, just between me and you. Everything I do for Bert.
Bert Newton, this is your life.
Thank you so much, mate.
Our guests choose to stay at the ANA Hotel Sydney.